Hello guys, welcome to our vlog. And well, this is an AI vlog created by Zapewala using Google Veo 3.
Guys, welcome again. We are going to our honeymoon in Bangkok. Stay tuned to Zapiwala to learn.
Thank you Zapewala for sponsoring this amazing honeymoon trip. If you want to learn how this video has been generated, then stay tuned.
Namaste doston, first night out in Bangkok and we're hunting street food with Zapiwala and Google Veo 3.
Yeah, बहुत yummy hai.
All these stunning videos you're seeing have been generated using Google Veo 3, and let me tell you, Veo 3 is hands down the most powerful AI video generator available right now. If you've been dreaming of creating cinematic, hyper-realistic AI videos, then mastering prompt writing for Veo 3 is absolutely essential. In this tutorial, I'm going to reveal 7 powerful tips to help you craft the perfect prompt for Google Veo 3. But that's not all. Somewhere in this video, I'll also share with you a magical prompt template, yes, the exact one I used to generate these breathtaking visuals. So if you're serious about leveling up your AI video game, stay with me till the very end, because you won't want to miss a single insight. Before we jump in, do me a small favor, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm putting my heart into these videos, and your support really helps me grow this small but passionate creator community. Alright, no more waiting, let's dive right in. If you want to create cinematic videos using Google Veo 3, then the first prompt tip you need to follow is, start strong with the cinematic hook. This means the very first sentence of your prompt sets the entire tone, camera setup, and visual style. If you skip this, Veo might generate a flat, generic-looking clip. Think of it like directing your first shot, you're choosing the emotion, composition, and lighting right from the start. Now, if your prompt is vague or weak, you simply won't get that polished, cinematic result. Let's take a look at an example of a bad prompt. You might be wondering, why exactly is this a bad prompt? Well, there are a few key reasons. First, there's no clear mood or visual style. Words like peaceful are too generic. They don't guide Veo on how the scene should actually feel. Second, there's no mention of camera type or movement. Third, there's no emotional cue from the character. We don't know what the girl is feeling or expressing. And finally, there's no dialogue. The character doesn't say anything, she's just there, silent and passive. So, taken together, this prompt ends up feeling vague and flat. Before we move ahead, let's actually create a video using this prompt, and see how it turns out. To do this, go to Google Flow to access Google Veo 3. Now, if you don't yet have access to Veo 3, no worries, I've got you covered. Check out the video, where I walk you through, step by step, how to get access to Google Veo 3 completely free for the next 15 months. Once you're inside Google Flow, click the settings icon. Here, select the number of output videos per prompt. I'm choosing 1, just to save some credits. Next, go to the video model dropdown and choose highest quality, Veo 3. Now, paste in your prompt, and hit the send button. Within just a few seconds, your video will be ready. And bingo, here it is. Let's take a look. Okay, so it's not a bad video. But clearly, it's missing that cinematic spark. And that's because the prompt itself wasn't strong enough. Now you're probably wondering, what does a good prompt look like? Here it is. A wide-angle, golden hour shot captures a young woman standing alone in a sun-drenched wheat field. The lens catches soft flares as she looks into the sky and says clearly, I think I'm ready to start over. Why is this prompt so much better? First, it opens with cinematic language. Terms like wide-angle and golden hour instantly give Veo visual direction. Second, there's a defined atmosphere. We can picture the soft flares, the sun-drenched field. Third, there's emotion. The woman isn't just standing there, she's looking up, she's alone, and the lighting reflects her state of mind. It tells a story without over-explaining. And finally, we have dialogue. I think I'm ready to start over. That single sentence gives emotional weight and clarity. It tells us something important is changing for her, and that pulls the viewer in. Together, all these details make the scene feel cinematic, intentional, and full of life. Alright, now let's go ahead and create a video using this good prompt. Just enter the prompt into the prompt box and hit send. Give it a few seconds. And, here it is. The final video. Let's preview this one too.
I think I'm ready to start over.
Now this feels cinematic. Notice the warmth of the lighting, the composition of the wide-angle lens, the emotional expression on her face, and that powerful line of dialogue. It's not just pretty, it feels like a scene from a film. That's the power of a well-crafted prompt. Now, you must be wondering, how can you write a strong prompt like that? Well, don't worry, I've got you covered. Here's a prompt template you can follow to create cinematic hooks like this every time. Just fill in the blanks with your story idea, and you're on your way to professional-looking cinematic shots. Now let's move on to tip 2. Now that you've set a strong cinematic hook, it's time to focus on the core visuals, telling Veo exactly who is in the shot, what they're doing, and where they are. Think of this like a storyboard panel. Your subject should be the clear centerpiece of the scene. Avoid vague verbs like doing something or looking. Now, let's look at this bad prompt. A man is in a city. He's walking. Again, why is this a bad prompt? First, what does he look like? We have no idea. Is he clean-cut or scruffy? Tall or short? Nervous or calm? Without character description, Veo has no visual direction. Second, what's the city like? Is it modern, grimy, historical, neon-lit? City is far too generic to paint a clear picture. Third, what is he wearing? Clothing tells us about personality, social status, or even the mood of the scene. A man with no outfit gives Veo no visual texture. Fourth, is it day or night? This matters. Lighting defines tone. Whether it's bathed in harsh daylight or moody shadows makes a big difference in the final video. Fifth, the prompt misses all visual cues. No steam, no signage, no bystanders, no weather, the environment is completely blank. And finally, there's no dialogue. He doesn't say anything. We don't hear his thoughts or motivations. So overall, this prompt fails to provide any defining detail. It's like asking Veo to shoot a scene with the lights off and no script? Now let's create a video using this prompt. To do this, again, simply paste the prompt into Veo 3 and hit the send button. Wait for a few seconds, and bingo! Here is our generated video. Let's preview this. As expected, it's basic, vague, and visually flat. There's nothing that really draws you in. No atmosphere. No personality. No story. And that's exactly why we need clear, rich core visuals in our prompt. Now, let's look at a better version of this prompt. A disheveled man in a wrinkled brown coat walks briskly through a neon-lit Tokyo alley at night. Steam rises from the grates. He pauses, looks at a flickering sign, and says clearly, "I've been here before, but something's different." Now, why is this a strong prompt? First, character detail. We're not just told a man, we're shown a disheveled man in a wrinkled brown coat walking briskly. That gives us an instant mental image, a sense of urgency, and even a hint of his backstory just through appearance and movement. Second, setting specificity. This isn't just a city. It's a neon-lit Tokyo alley at night, with steam rising from the grates. Every detail adds texture and atmosphere. We can see it, feel it, even hear it. Third, emotion through environment. The flickering neon, the night setting, the brisk walk, it all builds tension and mystery. You can tell something's off. The mood isn't just told, it's felt through the visuals. And finally, the character speaks. That single line of dialogue, "I've been here before, but something's different," adds narrative weight. Together, these elements transform the scene from generic to cinematic. Now let's see how this looks as a video. Just enter the prompt into Veo, hit send, and give it a few seconds. And here it is. Let's preview it.
I've been here before, but something's different.
Now that looks and feels like a real movie scene, rich in detail, emotion, and story. And that's the magic of strong core visuals. And here's a prompt template you can use to guide your scene. Just fill in the blanks, and you've got a solid, story-rich prompt ready to go. And with that, let's move on to tip 3. Alright, so far, you've hooked the viewer with a cinematic opening and built a strong visual core by defining who, what, and where. Now it's time for the next tip that transforms your video from a shot into a world. Tip 3, Atmosphere and Sensory Details, the immersive layer. This is where your prompt stops being just visual and becomes emotional. Atmosphere turns a technical scene into something that feels alive. It's about light, sound, color, texture, the tiny details that give the moment depth, mood, and realism. These aren't just extras, they're emotional triggers. Let's look at a bad example. It's kind of dark. There's a tree. It's windy. Now, what's wrong with that? Well, it's vague and generic, kind of dark, doesn't tell Veo how to light the scene. There's no texture. No mood. No sensory detail. Windy is just a word, we don't hear it, feel it, or see it. And again, no dialogue, no story. Let's test this one out. Paste it into Veo 3, hit send, wait a moment, and here's the result. Let's preview it. Yeah, it works. Technically. But it's lifeless. Now, here's a strong example of the same scene, but layered with atmosphere. Pale moonlight filters through twisted trees, casting long shadows on the mossy ground. A low fog drifts between roots as leaves rustle softly. A girl stands barefoot, holding a lantern, and says clearly, "The forest remembers everything, even the lies." Let's break down why this will work so well. Light and shadow, pale moonlight, long shadows, now Veo knows how to light the scene. Texture and sound, mossy ground, fog, rustling leaves, we can feel the environment. Mood, the scene is eerie, mysterious, almost haunting, just from the atmosphere. And finally, dialogue. The forest remembers everything, even the lies. That line gives the scene emotion, mystery, and narrative weight. Let's plug that prompt into Veo 3, hit send, wait a few seconds, and boom, here's our video. Let's preview it.
The forest remembers everything, even the lies.
Now that feels immersive. You're not just watching it, you're inside it. So how do you write prompts that create that kind of sensory depth? Don't worry, I've created a simple template you can use. Just fill in the blanks with your scene idea, and you'll instantly bring your world to life with mood, texture, and emotion. Now let's move into tip 4. Tip 4, motion choreography and camera movement. Now that your scene has texture and atmosphere, it's time to bring in motion, and not just from your subject, but from the camera itself. This is what separates a static shot from one that feels like real cinema. You see, Veo 3 isn't just a text-to-video tool. It understands how to simulate real camera work, if you guide it properly. You need to tell it what the subject is doing, and what the camera is doing in response. Think like a director of photography. Are we tracking behind the character? Is it a handheld shot? A slow push-in? Is the camera still or chaotic? Let's look at a bad prompt first. The man runs and the camera shows it. Why doesn't this work? We don't know how he runs. Is it a sprint, a stumble, or a casual jog? The camera direction is unclear. Shows it doesn't tell Veo anything. Is it handheld or smooth? What's the emotion here? We don't feel anything. And once again, no dialogue. Now let's plug that into Veo 3, hit send, wait a few seconds. And yep, here is the video. Let's preview it. The result is about what we expected. Flat and forgettable. Now here's how we fix it. Let's rewrite the scene with proper subject motion and camera choreography. A handheld camera tracks a panicked man sprinting down a dim hospital corridor. Fluorescent lights flicker overhead. He skids to a stop at a closed door and shouts, "Is anyone in there? Please answer me." Now that feels cinematic. Why? Clear subject motion, he's sprinting, he skids, there's urgency. Defined camera work, handheld camera, tracks, Veo knows how to move the shot. Environment and mood, the flickering lights and corridor add tension. And finally, dialogue, his line pulls us into the moment emotionally. Let's test this prompt inside Veo 3. Paste it in, hit send. And boom, preview this generated video.
Is anyone in there? Please answer me.
Now that feels like a movie scene. There's motion, chaos, emotion, it's alive. So how do you write this kind of prompt? Here's a template you can steal. It's time to move to tip 5. We've built your scene with strong visuals, motion, and atmosphere. Now it's time to think like a cinematographer. Composition guides the viewer's eye. Tip 5, Compositional Language, frame with intention. Even AI understands concepts like the rule of thirds, depth, focus, symmetry, and negative space. Your prompt needs to explain how to frame the shot, not just what is in it. Here's a bad example. The man is in the middle and some trees are behind him. Why doesn't this work? No clear framing or focus, the subject just exists in the scene. We don't know the relationship between the man and his environment. Background is generic and lacks detail. There's no visual depth or layered interest. And, again, no dialogue to ground us emotionally. Now, paste that prompt into VO3, hit send, wait a few seconds, and here's the generated video. Let's preview it. As expected, it looks flat and uninteresting. The shot doesn't guide your eye anywhere, and the scene feels uninspired. Now let's see a stronger example. Framed in the lower third, a man kneels beside a campfire as flames dance in the blurred foreground. Behind him, snow-covered trees fade into darkness. He looks at the flames and says calmly, "I never thought I'd make it this far." Why is this prompt strong? The subject is intentionally placed in the lower third, giving the shot dynamic balance. Foreground flames are blurred, creating depth and drawing focus to the man, while background details like the snow-covered trees fading into darkness add atmosphere and mood. The composition supports a calm, reflective tone. The dialogue adds emotional weight and story context. Now let's test that in VO3. Paste this improved prompt into VO3, hit send, wait a moment, and boom, here's the video. Let's preview it.
I never thought I'd make it this far.
Notice how the composition pulls you in, the blurred flames add depth, the man's placement off-center creates interest, and the fading trees add atmosphere. The dialogue gives it emotional weight. Here's a simple template you can use to frame your shots like a pro. With this compositional language, your videos won't just show, they'll draw the viewer in exactly where you want. Ready for tip 6? Let's keep rolling. By now, you've mastered visuals, motion, atmosphere, and framing. But there's one thing that can still break your prompt, and that's vagueness. Your words are the camera, and every single one has to earn its place. When you write for VO, don't think like a novelist. Tip 6, Conciseness and Precision, every word counts. Be visually specific. Don't write like prose. Avoid generic or emotional terms unless you show how they manifest visually. Eliminate filler like maybe, kind of, or somehow. Let's look at a weak example. A nice-looking place. Maybe a house. It feels mysterious. Here's why this fails. Nice means nothing. It could be a cabin, a castle, or a kitchen. Maybe weakens the image. You're not sure, so why should VO be? Feels mysterious is an emotion, but we don't see what creates that feeling. And, once again, no dialogue to ground the scene. Let's test this in VO3. Paste the prompt, hit send, wait a few seconds. And here's the generated video. Let's preview it. As expected, generic, forgettable, and empty. Now, let's rewrite the same idea, using concise and precise language. A weathered fisherman stands alone at the edge of a wooden dock, waves lapping at the posts. His eyes squint into the sunrise as he mutters clearly, "She always loved mornings like this." Let's break down why this works. Specific subject, not just a person, but a fisherman. Clear setting, wooden dock, waves, sunrise. Visual emotion, the squinting, the solitude, the sunrise, they show nostalgia without saying it. Dialogue with weight, the line reveals a memory, a relationship, a subtle grief. Now let's paste that into VO3, hit send, and here is the result. Let's preview the result.
She always loved mornings like this.
Now we've got a cinematic, emotional moment. It's clear, focused, and resonant, all because the words are doing their job. You can use this prompt template to create such a strong prompt. Now, let's move to tip 7, the final tip. Tip 7 is the final key to unlocking professional-grade video prompts in VO3, and it might surprise you, VO doesn't remember anything between your prompts. Tip 7, Consistency and Independence, each prompt is its own scene. Treat every prompt as a standalone cinematic moment, even if it's part of a sequence. Don't say, next, then, or as before. Re-include visual details from previous shots if they're needed. VO has no memory between prompts. Each one is like a new scene in a short film. So if you say, then he walks into the forest, VO doesn't know who he is. You've lost the story, the visuals, and the emotional arc. Let's look at a weak example. Then the same guy continues running through the forest. This falls apart fast as there is no reintroduction of subject, the same guy doesn't tell VO who he is. Relies on memory from previous scene, VO doesn't have memory, this fails. Weak continuity, the forest is just mentioned, not rebuilt visually. No new description, no emotion, no texture, no action detail. No dialogue, the character has no voice, again. Then assumes continuity. Veo treats each prompt in isolation. Veo may generate a totally new person, because nothing tells it otherwise. Now let's plug this into Veo 3, and hit the send button, and here is result. Let's preview the result. Yep. The clip is jarring, disconnected, and vague. It could be any man in any forest. Now, let's rewrite, treating this prompt as a standalone scene. A tracking shot follows the same bearded man in a soaked flannel shirt as he pushes through thick fog among tall pine trees. He coughs and yells, "If anyone's still alive, I'm here." Why this version works. We reintroduce the subject with visual detail, bearded man, flannel shirt. We rebuild the setting, fog, tall pine trees. The motion is defined, pushing through. There's dialogue, and it raises the stakes instantly. Now let's try this in Veo 3, paste the prompt and hit the send button. Wait for a few seconds. And here it is. Let's preview it.
If anyone's still alive.
Yes, now we're in a scene with weight, urgency, and cinematic clarity. You can use this prompt template to create such strong prompt. So, we've now covered 7 powerful prompt tips for generating cinematic videos using Google Veo 3. To make things easier for you, I've compiled all 7 prompt templates into one neat Google Doc, and you can find the link to that on our WhatsApp channel. Don't miss it. But wait, that's not all. I've gone one step further. I've merged all these tips into one final prompt template. Yes, this is the ultimate prompt template, and it brings together all the 7 tips we discussed earlier in this tutorial. All you need to do is fill in the blanks and you're ready to create a stunning, cinematic video using Google Veo 3. But, what if you're short on time and don't want to manually fill in those blanks? Well, good news, I've got something even better. This is where the real magic happens. Just copy the magical prompt template from our WhatsApp channel, then head over to ChatGPT, paste the prompt in, and scroll down. You'll see a line that says, "Enter your idea here." Simply replace that line with your video idea. For example, I entered, "A newly married couple are in their bedroom on their first night, wearing traditional Indian wedding dress, making a selfie vlog where the girl says, 'Hello guys. Welcome to our vlog.'" Well, this is an AI vlog created by Zapiwala using Google Veo 3. Now, hit the send button, and let ChatGPT work its magic. Within seconds, it will generate a perfect Veo 3 prompt, incorporating all 7 tips we learned in this video. And boom, here it is. Let's copy the final prompt. Now, head over to the Google Veo 3 AI video generator, paste it in, make sure the Veo 3 model is selected, and hit generate. Wait just a few seconds. And bingo! Our cinematic video is ready. Let's preview it.
Hello guys, welcome to our vlog. Well, this is an AI vlog created by Zapiwala using Google Veo 3.
That's it for today's video. You'll find all the prompt templates, including the ones used in the AI vlog at the beginning, available on our WhatsApp channel, along with the magical prompt template. If you learned something new today, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm a small creator, but I pour my heart into every video, and your support means the world to me. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop your feedback in the comments below. See you soon in the next video.